Welcome back, guys. Good to be here. Super pumped about this one. If you guys have been watching my videos in the last pod we talked about making do with what we got, right? Gear that we have, gear we're already using. Talking about, the hunter that is broke, ultimately, right? Myself, I don't got all the money out there to go buy all the new gear. Now, with that said, it doesn't mean I don't have some of the name brand things. I do run KUIU on some of my camo gear. But for instance, like I needed a new bow this year, and I just happened to win a bow, the Darton from entering. It's not like I could go buy a new bow, but I did. My bow was 10 years old or more, and I just got lucky that I got to win a bow from Bow Hunt Mass, and those guys, thank you again. So this episode is about making do with what we have. I'm going to use my pack and pack board as example. I'd mentioned in the last video that I need a new pack this year. I needed a new pack, but it isn't going to happen. What happened was I had to choose. And a lot of times this is what happens to hunters, most hunters, I would say, that we have to choose. We have to pick and choose what we're going to buy this year or what we're going to advance this year, I would say. For me, my arrows were, I was down to really 2 arrows that I was shooting, and I needed more. So it was either arrows or a pack, really is what it came down to. My pack that I have does technically work. The zippers are breaking. If anyone out there knows of replacement zippers that are a good replacement zipper, comment and please put that in the comments so I can check that out. That would be awesome. But the thing is like, I'm not going to go buy a $500, even $150 pack this year. It doesn't make sense for me to do that this year when I can make this work. And I think there's talent in being able to make what we have work to still get out there. I think a lot of guys, what we're doing is we're getting in our head. I do it all the time. When I was younger, I was really bad at this. What I would do is if I didn't have the best equipment, the biggest, the best, whether it was hunting, riding dirt bikes, trucks, cars, all the things, if I didn't have the best, I thought I wasn't able. And it's so far beyond reality. Reality is our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers, let's think about what they did. They had probably a 30-06 or a 30-30. They probably left work and a lot of times rounded up the family. They went out, probably not with packs, probably not with pack boards. Or if they did, they made them at times. Let's see what else did they do. They had flannel, wool, and they killed some of the biggest elk and deer that some of us have ever seen. So it is possible that the technology we have nowadays, if you can get some equipment, it doesn't have to be KUIU, it doesn't have to be Sitka, it doesn't have to be a Leopold, it doesn't have to be a Hoyt, a Matthews, a Darton, or if it is, it doesn't have to be the one that came out this year. It doesn't have to be that. Our grandfathers killed. We can do the same. We don't need the most expensive. We don't need top notch. Now, I'm not knocking on the guys that, to be clear, I'm not knocking on the guys that can or do or that are sponsored. I think that's awesome. Again, I said this in the last video, if I was sent some equipment to try, I'm going to do it. What guy's not going to do that? How awesome, right? If you're sponsored, cool. Good for you. But one thing that's dear to me, and I'm going to try to keep here at 88 Outdoors, that I think is important is reality. The reality of what we're living on a day-to-day. Call it the average Joe who's getting up 5 a.m., 6 a.m., going to work, working their butt off to pay the bills, and can't get the Mathews, the Hoyt. So we're doing what we can to make this happen. I appreciate that when guys can do that. Okay. I had something else in my brain, but it left, so let's not go down every rabbit hole trail that comes to my brain. We'll be here all night. So what I'm going to do is, this is my pack. It does have some sort of pack board frame in it. It is a Black Creek brand pack. It's been a great pack. It was actually, I want to say it was a family member that gave this to me. Good, probably 10 years ago or more. And it's been a good pack. It's lasted me. It's held up. But again, it's probably 10 to 12 years old. So zippers are starting to go, like I said. And I had this idea. Comment if you think this is a good idea, if you think this is stupid and I shouldn't do this. But I'm going to do it regardless because I think it's going to work. So I have an older pack frame. I don't know the brand. I've had this again for as long as I can remember. It says the Outdoor Recreational Group. I don't know what exactly that is, what that means, to be honest with you. But I've had this thing for a long time. I've packed meat on this before. It's got a lot of places to strap meat to. And so a lot of packs nowadays, what I'm noticing is they'll have kind of like a frame such as this and your pack that are together, right? And then you separate them a lot of times and it's got like this place for the meat to go inside of. So in essence, that's what I'm building here. I'm going to find a way, probably zip ties. I'm going to hillbilly redneck this thing. And I'm going to attach this pack to this pack board. And when I do that, then I'll be able to, when I kill a bull, that's the plan anyways. My plan is to then, if I need, or we'll see obviously when we're in that moment what's the best, but in my mind what happens is I take this off, if it's zip ties, I cut them out, keep zip ties with me, and I either, get the meat on, pack it out, and do multiple trips, and at the last time that I make a trip, excuse me, I'll put this back on and I'll just leave this with the meat, take anything that's valuable out of it, obviously. Or if there's a way to get meat like the other, packs and this out, I'm going to obviously do that. We'll address that when we get there. But in my mind, this makes sense. I can take an old pack that I can put on a pack board, and that way I'm not, say, shooting an elk or a deer and having to leave and go, hike miles to get the pack board to pack the thing out because I'm a solo hunter. And, it just seems to make sense. It's a waste of trip. So this is what I'm doing this year to try to make it work. And, like I said, the zippers, the main zipper here on one side was pulling apart last year. It doesn't look like it is right now. Looks like it is. It's right here. It's like coming apart. Again, if you guys can comment somewhere, or someone that can comment if there's a way to fix this for a cheap fix, I'm all for it. Please let me know and I'm going to try that out. But this is what I'm going to do this year for pack and pack board. It's something we got to do when we're up against the wall and we don't have the abilities to go spend $500 on a new pack. So that's what I'm doing this year with my pack. I'm actually pretty pumped to see if it works. And there's a little bit of pride, you know, when we're doing these things, when you figure it out, when there's a sense of accomplishment of something that you've created to make work. I don't know if it's just a guy thing or what, but there's a sense of accomplishment, and you have some gratitude and just fulfillment. At least for me, there's a fulfillment in making it work. So, yeah, I mean, that's really in essence what I'm trying to get at in the last video, in this video, is that we can make things work with what we have. Trying to think of another situation, another piece of equipment or something I'm going to do that with. I'm sure there will be. I can't think of it right now. This is the one that came to my mind. I wanted to show you guys that I'm going to do. Give me some input, guys. Let me know what you think about this one. As I wrap up this video here, you know, I want to tell a little story that happened to me at a bow shop. It was someone that I knew had walked into the store from my past that this person's, I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to get into detail, but basically not my Darton, but my Bowtech that I had last year. I had painted it up. I had done some paint jobs on it. It looked really good, really. And it kind of, after I got done, I realized I had done some things that kind of resembled a Matthews with the stripe on the limbs. I didn't realize, I'm like, that does look like a Matthews. I can see how someone would mistake it. Well, this guy comes in, archers the field, and, you know, they're working on my bow. This guy comes up, kind of catching up a little bit. And he goes and says something along the lines of, you know, something about, is that a Matthews bow? And the guy behind the counter was like, no, this is a Bowtech. He actually just painted it up, and man, it looks really good. And, you know, was giving me compliments, and I appreciated that, of course. And this guy, he then furthers the conversation into, you know, kind of like, oh, well, anyone, I'm not going to get it verbatim here, so I'm going to kind of try to get what he said down here. In essence, anyone who's anyone should shoot a Matthews. And I believe I said something along the lines, kind of being a smartass. Well, not everyone can afford to go buy a Matthews. And then he fired back with, well, everybody should be able to buy a Matthews. And honestly, I've lost sleep over it. It probably shouldn't bother me that much. It doesn't help that this was someone from my past that is a family member that I was close with, and it was very hurtful. But it really just honestly pissed me off. Like, why are we as a hunting community tearing anyone apart? Why are we going to anyone what they can or can't afford? I don't get it. I don't understand it. I have a more of appreciation for the guy that can take down a bull elk with a 10-year-old bow, which my cousin did. Come to find out, that's another story I'm going to jump into here in a minute, but that can happen. But who are you to say, well, you should be able to do this, or you're basically shouldn't be here, standing here in this bow shop? It was disgusting. All right, so the other story that I was going to say with my cousin, I meet up with him at an event. See, he has a Hoyt hat on. I assume, which is bad on me, that he's probably shooting a brand new Hoyt, or within the last couple of years a Hoyt. I know he's got a couple nice bulls, some nice bucks. He's a way better hunter than I am. And I'm like, oh yeah, what are you shooting? Oh, I'm shooting the Hoyt. It's a bow I've had for like 10 years. Kind of like I did. My bow was like 10 years old. And I'm just going, huh. You know, they said after that other incident happened, and I'm just thinking, huh. You know, like, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, you know, you don't have to go buy the brand new Hoyt to kill a bull. You don't have to do it, guys. When you can spend, when you can, pick, I would highly suggest you think about it really logically. What is going to help you the most to gain another step towards getting that elk or deer down ethically, consistently? Maybe it is a new bow. Maybe that's what we need to save up for. That's great. But just remember, it's okay to not have it all figured out, to have it all the gear. All right, well, I think I'm going to end with those couple stories. This is what I'm going to be doing here coming up in the fall. Can't wait for the next couple videos coming up as well. Got some good ones in the shoot. And if you guys would, just keep on supporting us. I appreciate everything from everybody. I just, really, I've sat back this evening and thought about, some things in life and how to, some of those moments you guys all know where it's like, I appreciate those people, not like the guy at the archery shop, but I appreciate the guys that want a brotherhood in this community. Let's keep that going. Let's keep the brotherhood going, and let's stay together and stay strong and keep harvesting some good animals. And all right, guys, until next time, thank you.